You're such an asshole.
All right, this is attempt number 2 because internet in South Dakota is not that reliable, just like the people of Wyoming. So Anonymous writes, sorry for my delay. Oh no, that's me writing back to him. Hey asshole, I'm a jarhead who paid you to be a talking head a while back. You did a good job, by the way. I'd like your thoughts on Trump's indictment out of New York by Alvin Bragg. I would like a video response. Please keep me anonymous. Let me know what I owe you. Thanks. All right. So hopefully this one takes. And in the first video, if you had watched it where it didn't start recording until halfway through, I don't really have much to say. Unless there's some kind of surprise discovery. All this is politics on the part of Alvin Bragg. You look at Alvin Bragg, he's a truly stupid person. He has a worthless degree, went to Harvard on affirmative action, and now he's a political, never worked a day in his life. I'm not impressed with the man. Not terribly impressed with Trump either, but it's pain. If I recall correctly, this is the one that we're not prosecuting criminals below a certain amount. He's an ideologue. There's no sense of justice or fairness on this. He's going after Trump because he hates Trump and Trump's a Republican. And there's the argument, I think, if you're under indictment or under whatever, that you can't run for president. Now, he may have some information where I'll eat crow pie or humble pie or whatever it's called, where Trump may have done absolutely some horrifically bad and knowingly, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know, man. Okay, so what? Trump paid for a prostitute. Oh, y'all pay for sex. It's just that Trump paid cash for sex. See, I'll say it again. When you take your hard-earned money and you buy things that the girl really wants and is nice and would buy herself anyway, and you give it to her, that's love. When you give her cash, that's prostitution, and that's wrong. Obviously, being a libertarian, I don't give a damn about the moral ramifications of someone having a prostitute or being a prostitute. I don't care. As an economist, I say men mostly pay for it anyway. And I'm being deadly serious about that. I don't care if you pay cash or barter. So I don't really care that much about, whether it's true or not. They claim not. But to me, I'm like 43 felony accounts, and that, not a lawyer, but it seems to me, okay, what? You get him on a fine or something? So he misaccounted for things. Maybe he got some bad accounting. And then I even looked up Elliot Spitzer. I had to look him up. He was the governor of New York and got busted having a prostitute. However, the feds were charging him, and the feds dropped the case. And I think he even paid something like $10,000 or something like that. Is prostitution something we should be championing? And probably not. But this is hardly embezzlement or tax evasion, let alone one of the 43 other felonies that were charged. And I just don't know. It doesn't stand up to the litmus test. It doesn't stand up to the smell test. Misdemeanors maybe, but I'm not even going to bother looking it up. I'm just like, all right, you guys figure it out. What was in discovery? What'd you find out? How much of it stuck? So yeah, it's highly political. And that's it. That's really all there is. I hardly think this is the crisis of the century. Meanwhile, what about Jeff Epstein, and how come there's no prosecute? What's going on there? Yeah. So there's that. Now, what I did, though, draw from this is that, what was the third thing? There were 3. It's not so much this court case that's important. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. But what it shows you is the consequences and the ramifications of this. First, this just proves to you, don't ever put roots down or be a wealthy person in a Democrat state. Certainly don't come from don't be in New York and run for office. Run somewhere else. Be in a different run for New York. It is risky now to do business in New York if you are any kind of not Democrat. Now, you have to be popular. You have to be a loudmouth, right? But just look at that. They are weaponizing. They are using the judicial system for political motivations. And that's what dictators did. A little clown court circus. Oh, yeah, I'm sure the grand jury is just going to be, I'm sure. Again, I'll take it all back when it's like, oh no, he hit $20 million. And all right, well, that's serious. That's significant. But when you look at this, it's like, you do not have a fair and just judicial system in the state of New York. You have people that will use that to go after people they disagree with politically. I kind of hope the Republicans do the same. I hope you tear after some Democrats for some petty minor things and trump them up on felony charges. That'd be nice. You have every moral and legal right to do so now. So that's one major fallout. Like, who's gonna and Trump was a big old Democrat donor. Hey, Trump, how's that working? I love baby boomers when they voted Democrats. I remember some in my youth, and you don't understand that Democrats care. And then they get older. Oh my God, I can't believe it. There's trans people on my beer can. Ah! I can't believe gas is $4 a gallon. I didn't know. So I've never been a big fan of Trump, but I'm Republican. You skis. You a big Democrat. You're a good old Democrat, right? Now you got this. So I don't feel that bad for Trump either, but I do like, hey, this is not fair and just. But that's going to reflect badly on New York. Now don't set up business in New York. Don't be rich in New York. Just don't even bother. Just a corrupt Democrat stronghold. Why even bother? I don't know. There's something about Democrat people, and they like to be around where people poop in the streets. They're just sick, disgusting people. Both the people that poop in the streets and the Democrats who like to be around them. And the other thing, nowhere near as serious ramifications for society, but kind of funny because it's true. Who can trust prostitutes anymore? Because whereas I understand you pay to get the sex, but I was also assuming that right along with it is that the woman doesn't talk about it, that it's on the down low. And I don't know, never had a prostitute, but I would assume that's kind of the deal. On the previous video, I give the example, like when you get a Happy Meal, you get the Big Mac and you should get fries. Like it's right there. And this is like getting the Big Mac, but a kick in the nuts instead of a thing of fries. Now, how horny are men? Horny to a fault. But this has some pretty serious ramifications for any of those of you like, now I don't know. Do prostitutes spill the beans? I'm sure back in the mafioso days, that's how they got some people. I'm sure that's how some congressmen got their arms twisted to vote. There was a honey trap or something like that. I'm sure it's used. But now, hold on, wait a second. If you're famous, if you're wealthy, if you're a politician, I guess there's no prostitutes for you. Sorry, ladies, you just lost your business. You're Stormy Daniels, buddy. Just cut your business a little bit. Again, this presupposes prostitutes are aware of the financial and economic ramifications of having a bad reputation. Like, hey, you violated the attorney-client privilege here. But now if this becomes more common where, oh yeah, we're just going to tell everyone, oh, look, I pioned him. Remember that from 10 years ago? What would be the prostitutorial equivalent where you owned your John? You're like, ha ha, I told his wife and his employer and everybody. Yeah, okay, well, I don't know. I mean, if you're poor, you don't have a wife and you don't have a career or anything like that, there's no risk. But I think guys, look, and let's be honest, every guy wants to bang as many girls as possible. And girls generally are a pain in the ass. And as I've said before, as an economist, you will pay. And for those of you who have dated long enough, you know you will pay more in both time and money trying to get a girl the traditional way than if you just go and pay for it. So men will always have this predisposition, desire, inkling, want to just go and get something on the side. But now you girls are all pro sex work. What do you think these guys, if these guys even have a slight job or relationship, anything, that is thrown a tremendous amount of distrust and will only negatively affect the profession. I just think it's funny where it's like, wait, you're gonna mouth off? Okay. So just as the veracity of the New York judicial system is called into question, so is the prostitution market, at least in the United States, for those of you who happen to be wealthy or, anything like that. So there you go. There you go. I'm glad you got orange, man. But hang on, what were the 43? Oh, Trump charges. 34. I'm sorry, I had the number switched around. 34. Class E felonies. Hush money. 130,000 hush money payment. Fixer made a port star. Liaison. Serving commander to reimburse Mr. Cohen. That's where the fraud kicked in. Legal expenses. There's an argument there. Is it his lawyer? I'll let me get Chad Elkin's opinion on that. Okay. 11 counts involve the checks. 11 center on monthly invoices. And 12 involves entry in a ledger, general ledger for Mr. Trump's trust. Why is it a felony? Can be charged as a misdemeanor. To elevate a felony, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, must prove Trump's intent to defraud was service of a second crime. Oh, God. Well, I'm glad you New York taxpayers are just giddy about this. This is your excitement. But you got too tired of smelling pee on the subway and watching people poop in the streets. You're like, hey, I need some other kind of entertainment. You say, hey, let's pay the DA to go and prosecute Donald Trump on trumped up charges. Oh, entertainment. We're New Yorkers. Felony. Class E, the lowest category of felony offense, and you carry a maximum prison sentence of 4 years per count. So 34 going to go for 160 years. Oh, what a waste of time. We don't have the CCP, but we do. Why go? Why? Why would you do any business in New York? Why? All right. Hopefully that recorded the entire time. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $5. In all fairness, New York almost elected a Republican governor, only lost by 6 points. The closest results in years who wanted to fire Bragg. No. That's not close. That's 6 points. New Yorkers, you talk, they spoken. Hang on, my dad's dick is in my mouth. Oh, wait. Elect the Democrat guy. We ain't got enough piss in the subways. I'm tough. You get that. Good. Congratulations, New York. Remember this guy called Rudy Giuliani? Remember him when New York had a little bit of pride? And they're like, oh, look at this shining beacon. Back to the 70s with all of you. All right. Tiara, keep begging my father leave New York. His wife keeps in there. Then let go. Give up on that. I've had to give up on family members. They're not going to do things. Your dad prefers. Here's I hate to say this, Tiara. It is more important to your dad to make his wife happy than for him to be happy. That's his decision. That's his choice. People get fat. They like food more than sex and love. People drop their kids off at daycare. They love their career and their materialism, the things they purchase more than they love their children. People's actions tell you very clearly if-then statements and greater than, less than signs. But it's more greater than, less than signs about what they value in life. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm aware. That's why it's all political. All right. That's it. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.